Hi, this is Dale Peterson. I am the program chair and founder of S4 Events, and I'm pleased to announce that after having to cancel S4x22 this past January, we're coming back strong next year. January 25th through 27th in Miami South Beach will be S4x22. And as of today, June 1st, we're opening the call for presentations. It will be open until August 15th. So the purpose of this video is so you can understand as a potential presenter what we're looking for at S4 and how to submit and how to maximize your chances of getting on the S4x22 stage. If you're unfamiliar with S4, the last time it was held is January 2020. We had over 700 people there, and it was just an amazing group. While we welcome everyone to S4, we target really the advanced professional, the influencers, the people who are driving change in the industry, in the asset owners, vendors, consulting companies, governments, industry organizations. And that group of 700 we had there is truly amazing. It shows that if you're up on stage and can speak to that group, and you're compelling and you make a good case, your idea and you yourself will gain a lot from that because the people that can drive change are out there in the audience. Now, there's two stages at S4. There's the main stage and the technical stage, stage 2. The main stage requires an advanced topic, so it's not a beginner stage, but it is a more general stage where less technical talks are presented. And then stage 2 is S4's heritage. I guess it's called Stage 2 Technical Deep Dives. It's what we had first at 2007's event, where people get into bits and bytes and statistics and code and exploits. You cannot get too technical on Stage 2. So there's a place for either one of your talks. And submission is really easy. You can go to, as it says on the screen here, you can go to s4xevents.com, and there's a form there for you. Or you can email your idea to s4@digitalbond.com. And submitting is very simple. We just need your contact information so we can get back to you, and a title, temporary, you can change your title, and most importantly, 2 or 3 paragraphs on why what you want to present is novel and important. Okay, it needs to be something that's new. Something that hasn't been seen all over the place, because remember, our target audience at S4 are the leaders, the people who have seen all this stuff before. So you have to present something new to them. And new alone isn't enough. It needs to be important. It needs to be something that will help create the future. So that's what we're really looking for. We're a little bit different in terms of how we take in submissions at the call for presentations. Most events have a formal process. Maybe it's academic, refereed, blind, all that sort of thing. We're none of that. We just want to put together the best set of sessions for our attendees. So when you submit something, we look at it within a week, and we will send you back a yes, no, or maybe. Now, if you get a no, that gives you time to say, oh, I should submit something else. You don't have to wait till the end. If you get a yes, great, you're in. You're done. If you get a maybe, we'll put you in another pile, but a lot of times we'll actually have a conversation with you, because a maybe could mean that we see something in there that we think could be a great S4 session, but what you wrote up really didn't do it. So we might go back and forth. We do this with a lot of the eventual speakers, where we go back and forth 2, 3, 4 times until we say, yes, this is an S4 session. Is this something you can do? So we do that. Now, if you think about this, submitting early increases your chances, because right now, as I'm recording this, we have not accepted any sessions. So we have a blank slate. If you submit in June, we have very few sessions. If you submit on August 15th, we're probably 75% full because we've said yes to a bunch of people. So your session has to clear a much higher bar to get in at that point. In addition, every year we'll get certain themes where we'll get a lot of sessions in. If we've already accepted 2, even if yours is better and comes in late in August, we might not add it to the agenda because we say, no, we've already got that issue covered. We can't have another session on that. So submitting early will definitely help you. Now, I created this list that you might see me looking at, and I thought what would be very helpful is to give you some bullet points on what will help you get accepted and what will make your chances much less likely, what will help you get rejected, I guess, to be blunt. To get accepted, I already said the first one, submit early. That is very important. It's open to anything in OT and ICS security. Okay, so it's a very broad conference, and it's even open to related fields. We've had some great sessions on economics, insurance, psychology, international relations, things of that nature. Because again, we need these outside influences because they're going to drive what happens to the industry in the future. As I mentioned, it can be technical or non-technical. We have both of them on now that we have multiple stages. If it is technical, we will accept offensive sessions. So tell us how you're going to attack something. Tell us how you're going to do something post-exploit to cause a high consequence event. And defensive. So we accept both of those. This is a very important one. In fact, this is the comment I give most back on the maybes is narrow. Narrow is better than broad. Because think about it, we're looking for and we're trying to serve a very experienced, very knowledgeable audience. They don't need overviews of very many things. They understand these things. What they might not understand is some narrow point that you have a different take on or that is important that hasn't really been looked at in detail. So almost always with your submission, you're better off to go narrow than have an overview. Narrow, not broad. New and important, I mentioned that. If this is something that isn't new, that is well known, it's not going to be accepted. A different point of view is very important. So we're looking for things that break conventional wisdom, things that are not standard, things that people are not saying. And just to let you know, sometimes I don't agree with these. I've put many people on stage with something I am 180 degrees different than. And sometimes we'll even put 2 sessions on stage right after each other where they're completely different, where they disagree with each other. Our goal is to put these ideas on stage for this audience, the S4 audience, to hear about. That's what we're really trying to achieve. And if you are the best person to promote one of these views, then that's great. Last tips are look at the S4 videos. If you go to the S4 Events YouTube channel, you'll see there's a playlist, S4x20. You'll see some examples there. Those will give you an idea of talks that we've liked in the past. And lastly, think about the tagline. The events tagline is create the future. Is what you are proposing to present going to help to create the future of OT and ICS security? And secondly, our show theme for S4x22 is no limits. Oddly enough, that was our 21 theme, and we ended up getting limited by COVID. But I like this idea of saying, let's throw off these constraints. Let's look at this issue without the limits of conventional thinking. So feel free in your submissions to be bold, to be a bit crazy, to be a bit controversial, to do something that other people think is wrong or have never thought of before. Now, equally important, I wanted to let you know what's unlikely to be accepted. And please don't take this the wrong way. I'm just trying to help you out. But if it's anything that's basic, anything that I call SCADASEC 101, it's not going to be there. That's not the audience we're looking at. We have the on-ramp training that we've put out. There's a lot of other great conferences for the people looking for the basics. That's not what S4 is about. It's obviously still needed. It's just not what S4 is about. And again, anything we stress new. So if this is a session that's been at 3 or 4 other events, it's probably not going to get accepted because a lot of our attendees monitor those events or attend those events or, quite frankly, speak at those events. So they're already aware of that. They wouldn't want to see that again. Now the big one. This is the big one. Anything that is conventional wisdom is probably not going to be accepted. And I get a lot of pushback on this because people are always submitting these lessons learned from or top 5 so-and-so. because those sessions are accepted at a lot of different events. And quite frankly, I still believe that those sessions are incredibly valuable to probably 95% of the ICS security community. So I'm not saying anything bad about those sessions. They're tremendous sessions. They should be given. They're just not S4 sessions. Because again, our target attendee will know those conventional lessons learned. So unless your lessons learned are very different than what everyone else's lessons learned are, and your top 5 list is very different, or if it's something bleeding edge that the rest of the audience wouldn't have experienced or heard about, that's probably not going to be accepted. We get a lot of sessions presented as panels. Okay. I'm not saying we never do panels. We do some interviews and panels. We never have more than 3 people on stage. In general, we only have 1 speaker on stage unless there's some reason that adding a second speaker will make it better for the audience. Okay, a lot of times people want to hand things off. We're really thinking about the audience here, and in our experience, having 4 or 5 people on stage to fill a 30-minute session is a disaster. And quite frankly, when I'm on one of those panels, I'm always, I try to say no to them. If I have to say yes, I'm sitting there saying, oh, this isn't good for the audience. Because you just don't get enough time to talk. So don't submit, hey, we've got these 4 great asset owners and a vendor, and we're going to be on stage talking about this issue. And lastly, the I found a vuln session is unlikely to be accepted. Again, there's always a few exceptions to these rules, but a lot of times we'll get a number of sessions, hey, I found a vuln in this PLC or this HMI or this engineering workstation. It's unlikely to be accepted unless you have some new class of attack. We're very interested in those. But if you just ran some standard approaches to finding vulnerabilities and you found them, congratulations, it's important work, but we really stopped doing many of those sessions back in 2013 because I think it was 2013 we had so many 0 days, so many of those sessions, people just got sick of them. This audience knows that ICS software and firmware has a lot of vulnerabilities. Okay, so that's my tips. Just to finish this off, what you get as a speaker if you attend S4, first of all, you get to share your work and your ideas. I think being able to share your work and ideas to this audience where it's going to potentially resonate, potentially make a difference, potentially create that future is a huge gift. I feel that way whenever I'm on stage. Just to have that audience's attention is amazing. And we've seen a lot of companies started around these ideas, projects. We've seen things begun and move forward from S4 presentations. The other thing you'll get a tremendous video from this. We spend every S4 an increasing amount of money on our staging, our video. We have a makeup person there so you look good on stage. We have multiple camera shoot. It's really turned into something. So at the end of this, there'll be a great video of you speaking that you can use however you want. We'll put it up on the S4 Events YouTube channel, but you'll have full rights. We'll send you the MP4. You can do whatever you want with it. You'll get recognition. Speaking at S4, I'm proud to say, is now a feather in your cap. If you're an S4 speaker, it actually means something because it's so hard to get on that stage. You'll get a free ticket to S4, of course, to be able to attend the event, and you'll get the S4 Performer Pack. We're actually working on a very cool speaker giveaway bag this year that I think you'll really enjoy. And if you have trouble affording to come to S4, we have some S4 speaker stipends. Now, we don't provide these to speakers from large companies that can afford to send their people there, but we don't want to be in a situation where there's a great session, a great speaker, we want them there, but they can't afford to come. So we have $1,500 stipends. Occasionally we'll go a little bit higher if necessary, but don't let money prevent you from submitting. If there's no other way to get you there and you've got a great session, we're going to pay so you're not out of pocket to come to S4 and present your work. So that's really all I have. Again, if you see on the screen there, submit your session. Don't overthink it. If you're writing a 5-page document like some people do, it's way too much work. It might be wasted if we say no. Just submit 3 paragraphs. Why is it novel? Why is it important? Send it to us. We'll give you some quick feedback. Get it in there. And just to end this video, for those of you that have never attended S4 or haven't attended in recent years, it's changed a lot. I'll just attach this 90-second video at the end from S420 so you can see the stages, the social events, the crowds. It's really something, and I hope a lot of you watching this will be on stage next January. Thanks.